Who are the best prospects in MMA? Well, today, guys, we're going to be finding that out in this tier list. I've got fighters all around the screen who I think are prospects in MMA, and I'm going to be ranking them from best, S tier, most promising prospects, you know, the prospects I can really think can become champion and do well in this sport, all the way down to F tier, prospects who I don't think are going to do so well and are maybe going to flop. But without further ado, let's get into this. I'm MMA Tizzer. Subscribe if you're new here. I do content like this and live streams every single day. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Let's get right into this with a name we all know and are very familiar with, Khamzat Chimaev. You're going in S, mate. You deserve it. Because this guy, I mean, obviously, you know, we saw him beating the guys that a lot of people can beat, like John Phillips, Reese McKee. And then he went and proved himself when he was beating better contenders, GM3. GM3 is a good contender. I don't want to hear it. He can derail a lot of hype trains, and he passed through it with flying colours when he KO'd him. And then obviously fought Gilbert Burns, had an absolute war with him, crazy fight. Proved that, you know, maybe his cardio isn't the greatest, and his striking can definitely improve, but is solid. And then he just destroyed Kevin Holland in one round, and now he just can't get a fight. I have no idea what's going on. Might be visa issues, but the point is, Khamzat Chimaev is very promising. Obviously, he can definitely fight at middleweight. I don't even know if he can make 170 pounds anymore. But we know what we're getting when we get Khamzat Chimaev. Non-stop aggressive wrestling. Maybe he can beat Adesanya. He's kind of a nightmare matchup for Adesanya in the first round. There's a lot of people at middleweight I think he can beat. Robert Whittaker is one of his toughest matchups there, I think. But yeah, and if he can make welterweight, fight Usman, bro, because I'm pretty sure you win that fight by finish. Especially considering Usman's got weak knees and all. But, you know, we all know about Khamzat Chimaev. S tier, you know, still improving, I'm sure, and probably going to fight at middleweight. We move on to the bottom of S tier. Put him here, Jack Della Maddalena. Now, we all know how good Jack Della Maddalena's boxing is. You know, there's no question about it. This guy's got some of the, you know, the cleanest hands in the entire UFC. He's been knocking people out left, right, and centre. He hasn't left the second round in his entire UFC career so far. And I'm not surprised because this guy's literally got some of the best boxing I've ever seen in the UFC. And he kicks as well. He kicks a little bit, not too much, but so he's not completely one-dimensional. And his scrambles are decent too. Haven't really seen him get taken down a lot, to be honest, but from the scrambles, been alright. So I'm not too worried about him getting taken down by terrible wrestlers. And he's knocked out Randy Brown, who is a pretty good opponent, you know. People struggle with Randy Brown because he's tall and lanky, and that was the thing. Everyone was saying, nah, Jack Della Maddalena won't be able to knock out Randy Brown. He's too lanky. He's going to make JDM gas and then beat him in the later rounds. Didn't happen. He basically chinned him, followed him to the ground, few follow-up strikes, and then choked him out. It showed a bit of diversity in his game to get the finish there. But yeah, obviously, pretty okay grappling from what we've seen so far. Not too tested. This guy beats a lot of the top-level guys. He does well against the strikers, especially, I think. Obviously, because I think he's got better boxing than basically every welterweight except a few of them. I think he'd have an absolute war with Shavkat, but obviously Shavkat probably has the edge on the ground. And yeah, there's just a lot of fun fights, I think, in the welterweight division for him. And you never know, we could be onto a champion here. He's got potential for it, that's for sure. But Jack Della Maddalena, S tier, crazy boxing. Need I say more? We move on. Tatsuro Taira. I'm putting him in A tier. He's going here. The reason he isn't in S tier, even though he's undefeated and basically destroying everyone he fights, is because he hasn't fought the level of competition that these guys have fought, you know. Well, actually, we're moving down a bit because his competition hasn't been the sharpest, but he's fighting this weekend. He's fighting his toughest test this weekend, and if he finishes him, gets through this test with flying colours, you know, he could be top of A tier. But yeah, the point is, Tatsuro's really good on the feet. He's really good on the ground, got insane wrestling, good jiu-jitsu, like insane jiu-jitsu. It's crazy. And the point is that makes me rank him so high as well, is that this guy's young. I'm pretty sure he's like 23, 22, something like that. So, you know, he's barely even hit anywhere near his prime. He's, you know, years away from hitting his prime. So he's constantly going to be improving, hopefully improving like everywhere, ground, feet, jiu-jitsu. You know, this guy's just the complete package from what we've seen so far. Beat some top contenders, and you never know. I think we could be getting our first Japanese flyweight champion here. We move on. Terence McKinney. I mean, I know a lot of guys are saying, well, this guy wasn't really a prospect, but you know, he was young and kind of promising because he got a lot of early knockouts. He got like a 7 second knockout. He might even have two of them if I remember correctly, because you know he knocked out Matt Fravell in 7 seconds. But he just has failed, you know. Obviously, nearly finished judo, but then judo came back, and it's just stuff like that that really makes me think, you know, Terence McKinney ain't as talented as the other guys. He's a bit crazy, you know. Has Terence McKinney got good power? Yeah, he's got amazing power. Is Terence McKinney striking amazing? No. You know, he got exposed by Ismail Bonfim in their most recent fight. He's looking like a better prospect than him now, which is why I'm going to... Yeah, so he's looking like a better prospect than him now. And Terence McKinney, you know, lives off a few of his knockouts. Recently fly-kneed, maybe a career-ending KO or a career-changing KO. Taking a lot of damage, to be honest. Showed that he has cardio issues, which is why I can't rank him any higher than this. I think he gets smoked by every top 15, basically. And, yeah, sorry Terence, but I can't put you any higher because you need to prove yourself more. We move on. Ilia Topuria, A tier, top of A. This guy's looking super promising. Obviously, I know he's well known, but I'm still calling him a prospect because he's rising through the division. And yeah, amazing hands, very, very powerful. Good chin, good. He's got grit as well. Obviously, something you can't improve and is just natural is how gritty you are as a person. You know, to bite down in your mouthpiece and just continue when things aren't going your way. And he got dropped against Jai Herbert by a really good head kick, and he proved, you know, I'm not a quitter. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna fight through this fight, carry on, and he ended up getting the finish in the third round by absolute brutal KO. Just absolutely destroyed Jai Herbert. So he showed grit in that fight and heart, which is something that, you know, you can't improve. It's just you either are born with heart or you're not. It's a personality thing more than anything. And he showed it in that fight. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's an all-rounder. People forget this guy is an all-rounder. Good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling. Obviously subbed Bryce Mitchell as well after piecing him up. You know, I wouldn't say domination, but he was definitely winning the fight before the finish. And yeah, super promising. I'm pretty sure he's going to flatline Josh Emmett this weekend in like the first 3 rounds. So look out for that. I'm definitely taking him to win that. And if he wins that, he's S tier because, you know, still young. I think he's 26. So he's still going to be improving. Still about 4 years away from his featherweight prime. Does he beat Volk right now? No, I don't think he beats Volk. But maybe in the future against an older Volk, he can beat him. And yeah, we'll see. But there's plenty more matchups for him to be had in the featherweight division. We move on. Bo Nickel. B or A. You know, I'm putting him in A. Actually, no, I'm gonna move these guys down to B. These guys are both going in B. Bo Nickel, you know, we know he's good at wrestling, and we've seen from what we've seen of him on the feet, he's good, but it's against kind of bad opponents, you know. And he did nutshot his last opponent, so it's kind of hard to say, would he have got that takedown if he didn't crotch shot him? Probably would have, yeah. I mean, probably would have beat Jamie Pickett, and he's fighting Trezeguet Gore soon. So do I think he's going to destroy Trezeguet Gore? Probably, yes. I think he probably will finish him in the first 2 rounds. So, you know, very good wrestling base, but will this work against the guys that have takedown defense? I'm not so sure. There's still a lot of unproven things about him. His cardio's improving, his chin's improving, and his striking's pretty improving. I know he's knocked people down with the striking, but guys, they were cans, okay? Let's be honest, they were cans. When he proves it against, you know, ranked contenders at middleweight, I'll believe it. And also, this guy maybe could cut down to welterweight. I'm not so sure, but I reckon he should give it a go because, you know, then he can just be a massive weight bully in the wrestling. We move on. Umar Nurmagomedov, you're going in A tier. You know, you just knocked out your last opponent. Now you're in the rankings and you're undefeated, and you just dominate. He's got good wrestling, good kickboxing. Obviously, I know you know his guys are obviously known for their wrestling, but you know this guy's good on the feet too. He's dangerous everywhere you go, so that's unique about him. Good cardio, solid chin from what we've seen, undefeated. So, and obviously he's fighting Corey Sandhagen. If he beats Corey Sandhagen, we're gonna move him up the tier list. We'll put him here for now. But if he beats Corey Sandhagen, he might even get a title shot, guys, to be honest. But yeah, that's where he is now. I don't really have much else to say about this guy, but we know how good he is. And he's good on the feet. He's a lot better than a lot of the other Nurmagomedovs. We move on. Gelton Almeida. You're going in A tier here, bro. Obviously, he destroyed Rosenstrike. We all knew that was going to happen, or at least most of us did. I think this guy's got a really good chance at being champion. In fact, hang on. I'm tempted to put him in S tier, but I don't know. We haven't seen enough of him on the feet. But very, very good takedowns, good jiu-jitsu, especially for a heavyweight. You got to consider, guys, that this guy's jiu-jitsu for a heavyweight is really underrated, really good. Really good at finding the back, taking the back, and getting the rear naked choke in. Undersized as well. So considering he's doing this to guys bigger than him, really impressive. We need to see him against the guy with good takedown defense first. And we need to see him on the feet because he hasn't had too much time on the feet, and he did kind of get cracked by Shamil. So it will be interesting to see what goes on when he's forced to strike if one of his takedowns gets stuffed. But until then, riding the Jelton Almeida hype train, that's for sure, because this guy looks like he could beat champ. It's either going to be him or another very famous Russian powerhouse at this point in time. We move on. Paddy Pimblett. And I know he's not really a prospect because he's not as new to the scene as some of these guys, but is he more promising than Terence McKinney in lightweight? Kind of, yes. Will he get as many finishes? Probably not, no, but he hasn't been defeated in the UFC officially. Obviously, we all know he lost to Jared Gordon. Will this guy ever be top 10 in lightweight? No, okay. Paddy, he's good. He's better on the mic than he is at fighting, but he's still good. I think he beats maybe Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson as well. I think he probably wins that, but I don't think he beats many other people in the top 15. But anyway, fair enough, making money. He was very hyped after his first 3 fights in the UFC because he got all finishes. But I think we kind of knew that he wasn't really ever going to be top 5, going to be top 10. We kind of knew what his level was at, and he seems to have found it. So, that's all I have to say about Paddy Pimblett. C tier, you can all understand why, I'm sure. Moving on, this guy's called Rinat. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his second name because I'm going to butcher it, but he's, Rinat the Gladiator, we'll call him. And he's going in C tier. The reason being, I know obviously he's 31, but he's probably not going to get much better at this point in time, but he's pretty good, his wrestling's really good. And he recently beat Brian Battle, he dominated him, and then he's got a fight upcoming, so I'm assuming he's going to win that. Obviously 31, so he's not going to improve, like I said. Is his striking that good? I don't know yet, we have to see it. Will somebody stuff his takedown eventually, and will he take it out? Probably, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, guys. He'll eventually meet someone that can stuff his takedowns or a good wrestler in welterweight. And that's what I think is going to happen. Sorry, middleweight. And that's what I think is going to happen. But, until then, he's a really good grappler. But, I don't think he's got the potential of the likes of Bo Nickel because he's still young and improving and he looks better on the feet. So more potential. We move on. Ian Gary. He's going in S tier. This is unpopular because some guys think he's going to get flatlined in his next fight. Could Geoff Neal flatline him? Yes, absolutely. I'm not going to argue that. But from what we've seen from him, very, very promising. Gritty came back from nearly getting finished against in his last fight. So, that was good. Against Song Kenan. Sorry, I forgot his name there for a second. But, came back from nearly getting finished. Showed a bit of heart. Very, very technical. Finished D-Rod in the first round. Hard to do because D-Rod's all right. He's got good striking. It's not like he took him down against like a terrible wrestler, D-Rod. D-Rod's a boxer and he got finished on the feet. So, well, kind of. He got knocked down then finished. So, we know how it is with Ian Gary. He's got good kickboxing. He's got good striking. He's technical. We like that. He's a very technical fighter. Maybe has chin issues. I'm going to say, guys, I am a bit worried he does get flatline KO'd because, when he gets hit on the chin, it is a little bit worrying. And he's pretty promotable too, so I hope this guy does well. And you never know. Future top 5 contender may well be. You never know. But look out for him in welterweight. We move on. Sergey Pavlovich, S tier. This guy is like he's like the Russian Ngannou, okay? He's like Ngannou with more skill. This guy's a better boxer than Ngannou, and he's got maybe a tiny bit less power, but he's crisp, he's got fast hands, he's very strong, he's a big heavyweight, very strong, in shape, always training up. From what I see on social media, always training, always grinding. This guy doesn't really have lazy days, so huge respect to him. He knows he's dedicated. I think he beats a lot of guys. Obviously, just recently KO'd Curtis Blades, and I think he's trying to get a title shot. He said he's down to weight. Tough matchup for Jones, I think. Very dangerous on the feet for Jones. But obviously, he's just got to drill his takedowns, because if Jones takes him down, he'd be in a bit of trouble. Because we've seen maybe a flaw in his game against Overeem, but that was many years ago. And I'm sure he'd absolutely destroy Overeem now. But, you know, showing improvement every fight. Composure, looks composed. Slick boxing for a heavyweight. Huge power. Biggest power we have in the division right now. Very promising. Is this guy going to be the next heavyweight champion? I do think he will be, yes. Whether Jones retires or what, I think this guy's going to be next. And then I think it's going to be him, Tom Aspinall, and Gelton Almeida battling out for the heavyweight strap for the next 4 or 5 years or whatever. Yeah, so that's Sergey Pavlovich. He's in S tier. We're going to move Kamzat up here with, you know, these guys. The top guys aren't ranked. I can't really decide on who to put in S tier. But yeah, that's them for now. Anyway, we move on. Armin Sarukian. He's going at the bottom of A, okay? The reason being, right, is that Armin was fighting Joaquim Silva, which is meant to be like an easy free paycheck for him, and he almost got finished. So it just makes me worry about him on the feet, you know? Is this guy a really good grappler? Yes. I thought he was going to be a threat to Islam Makhachev in like a rematch for the title down the line. But after seeing that Joaquim Silva fight, I'm scared, because Islam's striking's improved, and if that's happening against unranked lightweights, imagine what's going to happen against lightweights who can actually strike really well. So, bit concerning. He did get the finish though in the end, so he showed that, you know, he can bite down on his mouthpiece. Like I said, he's got grit, got heart, but still worrying. But, you know, he showed a lot of potential. He's got really good grappling, and he's young. He's 26, I think, so he's still improving. So big respect to him, and maybe in the future he can beat Makhachev, but the stand-up is a bit suspect, so we're putting him there for now. But yeah, that is the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, I've missed people out on this list. I can't fit everyone in. There will have been people I forgot, and I'm still undecided about the rankings at S tier. I really can't decide on who's the most promising prospect, because I think they're all just promising in different ways. But thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.